Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. It's Tuesday. I hope you're having a really, really good day wherever you are on this planet. I'm bringing you some news on West Ham. But before we get started, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, hit the notification bell, and check out the membership perks if you are interested in doing so. Wow, Michail Antonio speaks out again. This man does not know how to shut his mouth. That's one thing I will say. First off, he digs out Salah and says that Liverpool have kept him prisoner and he wanted to go to Saudi Arabia, but Liverpool kept him as a prisoner at Anfield. And then today, he gets told that he thinks West Ham are going to finish above Liverpool. And people will say that's a bit of a confidence thing. But Michail Antonio makes out he's Mbappe. And he's more like Paolo One-Shot on Prozac. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, I rate Mickey. I like Mickey. I think what Mickey has done for West Ham has been very, very good. But there comes a time where you just got to watch what you say, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you've been okay. You've been okay, but you haven't been a well beater. Like, I know a lot of the younger fan base are going to go mad in what I'm saying, but they make out that he's some sort of like next Mbappe for West Ham when he's not. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, I get the confidence with him. Yeah, I do. But on some things, you just say nothing, mate. Yeah, we are playing Liverpool in 5 days' time. 5. And it's going to be a tough ask to go up there and get something because at Anfield, we never really get anything at Anfield. But the last time we won there was the 2015-16 season, I think it was, under Billage. Yeah. So I don't get why he's just put on unnecessary pressure on West Ham all of a sudden. Again, now we're going now if we go up to Liverpool and we get slapped and he puts in a 2 out of 10 performance, people will criticise people who are going to dig out Antonio for saying, "Well, what you're doing, like where's this sort of like attitude on the pitch?" And then we get done for having a go at him. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not right. It's not on. Yeah. Listen, Antonio does his podcast with Callum Wilson, and I get all that. Yeah. Listen, I do a podcast on here. Yeah. And many other YouTubers and podcasters do their stuff. But sometimes you've got to rein it in a bit, especially when you are an active member of a team currently. Do you know what I'm saying? We will not finish above Liverpool. Liverpool are unbeaten this season in the Premier League, and they will go on to challenge Manchester City, I honestly believe. I don't get what this sort of thing is with Liverpool, with Michail Antonio. I don't get it. I really don't. First off, as I said at the start, he's digging out Salah. Right now, if Salah turns up and puts in a proper performance, he could destroy West Ham on the weekend. And then Mickey is just drops us in it even more by saying we're going to finish above Liverpool. Like, that's embarrassing us. Do you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's quite embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? West Ham are nowhere near on Liverpool's level. Nowhere near it. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, I just don't get it with Michail Antonio. I really don't. He speaked out last year with Skamaka. He goes on a podcast yet again, talks about Skamaka, and he gets the ump at the weekend because he gets subbed off. Maybe you should be focusing, mate, on what you're doing on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Instead of focusing on what you're saying, like you've got quite a lot to say, yeah. And listen, he's been decent this year so far. Michail Antonio against Bournemouth wasn't so good. Chelsea scored a good goal. Yeah, I'll give him that, and he was all right in the second half. Against Brighton, that was probably his best performance in a West Ham shirt for a long time. Luton, non-existent, and against Manchester City, non-existent. Right, so I'm not going to sit there and like start praising him up because he's a record goal scorer. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough, he's a record goal scorer, but I don't see James Ward-Prowse talking about things like this. I don't see Naya Aguerd talking about things like this. Kurt Zuma, the captain, don't see him talking about things like this. Michail Antonio, for how much I love him, he has got this sort of attitude that he thinks he can say what he like, do what he like, and he can't be touched. The problem is, if he puts in a bad performance at the weekend and people criticise him, the people who are criticising Michail Antonio are the wrong people. Oh, you don't back him up. Like, you've got an agenda against him. I've only got an agenda against this man because at the end of the day, if you're going to go out and start saying things and put us in the firing line straight away, that is not good. That is not good. You're asking for trouble, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, I like Mikel Antonio. Yeah, I really do. I think he's a good player to a point. I think West Ham have overdone it with him over the last few years. I think we should have like said goodbye to him this season, but we've given him another 12 months with another 12 months on top of that till 2025. So I don't get it. I don't know why he's spoken out though, especially when you're playing Liverpool in 5 days' time. Yeah, and if we get turned over up there, which could happen. Yeah, we've been blitzed up there a few times over the last few years. Then I'm going to be fuming. Yeah, and he needs to put in a top class performance at the weekend. If he puts in a top class performance, I will come on here and I will say I'm sorry, but I don't see it with him. I really don't. And he's got to watch what he says. He really does. Do you know what I'm saying? Moving on though, these two, Connor Coventry and Ben Johnson, going for free in 2024. Both these lads' contracts are coming to the end of after this season, and Connor Coventry just hasn't worked out really. He's been a youth player for a long time. He's been at West Ham for a hell of a long time, and I just think it's cheaper to wind his contract down rather than give him a new one. And I don't think he deserves a new one. I think he's a bang average player at best, and really he's had loan spells at Rotherham. I think it was. I think he went to Peterborough. I think at one stage, even MK Dons. I think he went to, and it just hasn't worked out. It just hasn't really worked out for him. So I can understand it on that one. The Ben Johnson one is it's a strange one for me because if West Ham, I don't know why West Ham are wearing down his contract. The only thing I can think of is because the British quota, and he's a homegrown player from the youth academy. For me, Ben hasn't wanted to be here for the last 2 years. Like, do you know what I mean? West Ham were trying to offer him a new contract a couple of years ago, and I heard this through people who I know, and he basically turned it down, and he didn't want to sign a new contract. And West Ham had to literally have to force the extension in the original contract, which I think was for 2 years, to keep him at the club at the end of the day. And for me, that just says it all. Like, if you don't really want to be here, yeah, then don't be here. Do you know what I'm saying? West Ham I've had to force him to be here, which is mad. Would I get rid of these two in January? I would. I would. Like, I'd get some sort of fee from them. I wouldn't let them go for free. I really wouldn't. West Ham can't afford to let players go for free. But what really are you going to get between them? You'd be lucky if you get 10 million between the pair of them. So, a bit gutting because they both come from the youth academy, and they've both sort of had their parts to play with West Ham, especially Ben Johnson. When Ben Johnson sort of come onto the scene against Manchester City away about 4 or 5 years ago, everyone thought he was going to be the next real big thing. And it just hasn't worked out for him. When you look at our right back situation right now, we've got Tilo there, we've got Sufal there. Ben's really like third choice, yeah, if not fourth choice with Mavropanos, because Mavropanos can play right back and all. So yeah, listen, it's a shame it hasn't worked out. I understand it. I don't like it that they're going for free. I think West Ham should at least pull some money in from them. If they knew that they was going to wind their contracts down, then it is what it is. But Ben's Ben should have done better, really, since he's been at West Ham. And like, he's the one that I think I'm going to be more gutted about letting go, because I think there was a player there. One thing I will say with Moore is he has played him in every position along the back line. He's playing him as a centre half, in the back three, left back, right back. He's even playing him as a DM at one stage. So I don't think no one really knows where sort of Ben Johnson's natural position is. Probably at right back. But, it's just one of them ones at the end of the day. It just hasn't really worked out. And it is a pretty much a shame on that. So, yeah, listen, I'm going to leave it at that in regards to this sort of short video. Please do smash a like on the video. It goes a long way. Really helps me and the boys out on this channel. And please do subscribe to E20 Zone TV. I will be back during the week with the lads. We've got a lot coming up this week. Obviously, we've got the preview for Thursday. Big game against our Serbian counterparts. Do you know what I'm saying? We are 1-14 on to beat this team. And let's hope we can get the job done on Thursday night. Tom will be doing the preview for that. And obviously, we will be looking ahead to Liverpool, which is a massive game. I am going to have the pleasure of doing an opposition preview with a Liverpool fan, which we probably will talk about Michail Antonio quite a lot. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I will say that. That's enough from me, though. Anyway, from me to you, take care of yourselves out there and stay safe. The weather's a bit grim now. The summer is sadly gone, and winter and autumn is slowly fasting up upon us. Roll on Christmas. Take care of yourselves. Peace.